What's up everybody, this is Isaac with ACIC, and this is my second video. I'm going to give you that portfolio reveal. We're going to talk about the stocks that I'm currently holding. I'm going to speak about it briefly, give my own little spin to it, and then I'm going to tell you what I invested $100 yesterday into. Then I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of the stocks that I have on my watch list. So let's get into it. First I'm going to share with you my current portfolio. Here's the list of all the stocks, and here is the chart from year to date until now. As you can see, I hit a peak about mid-February, and then it's been going down. You guys can see over here that yesterday I had a red day. It was down $37, but it's okay, and I wanted to share with you guys because most of my stocks are a long-term play, and I think it's important not only to see only green days, but also important to see red days, and to just be okay with that it happens, and know where you are, where your portfolio is going. And for the long term, you know, over here we're not looking for those instant gratification trades. We're looking for those solid trades and solid companies that have potential for the long run. I do a little bit of swing trading, and we'll talk about which stocks and why. So for the first stock on the list, I got ACIC. It's called Atlas Crest. They're a SPAC. I think they have major opportunity. Again, it's a long-term play. Fortunately, I got in a little bit during the hype, and so I'm down quite a bit on it. But again, long-term play. I'm a big believer in the drone industry, and for those who don't know, they just formed a partnership with Archer, and Archer should be able to position them as the leader in the drone delivery space in the next few years. Now, right now, drones, everybody hears about them. People take pictures with them. People have fun with drones, and Amazon does some deliveries. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, all of us, when we go outside, when we go on a walk, whether we walk our dogs or just go on a drive, you're going to be seeing drones delivering packages like the same way that we all grew up seeing the mailman coming down the street and putting mail in the mailbox, to that extent. So I think that the industry has a long way to go, but I do think that Atlas Crest, ACIC, they stand to gain in the future. Alright guys, before getting into my next stock, I just wanted to let you know that this is not financial advice in any way. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and hopefully I can motivate and inspire anyone to just start investing, because it's not as complicated as it seems. Alright, so for my second stock, we got Bank of America, and here you can see the picture. I got the latest analyst price targets from TipRanks. I actually work there, and you can see that they show it with an upside of 8.89%. And why I like to see the analyst ratings is because I don't base my opinion solely on that. Not at all, but it is always nice to see what the top analysts on Wall Street are saying. At the end of the day, I've done DCF analysis, I've done different valuation models, and the numbers always come out very similarly to what the big banks in Wall Street and people over there are saying anyway. So these are people's jobs, they're doing it day in and day out, so it's always nice to see what the average that they think has for a potential upside before even looking at a stock to see if it even has potential. Because if I'm looking at a watch list, or I want to make a new position on a stock, and I see that all the analysts saying that it's going to tank, unless I can have a very good reason why it's not going to tank, I'm not even going to spend my time looking into that stock and or that company. And that's why it's nice to have TipRanks, you know, to see what the latest analysts are saying. So Bank of America was actually one of my first investments, and they're very strong financially right now, and banks are in a strong position, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. They also pay a nice dividend, so I'm keeping it. Now for the next stock on the list, I got BP. They also just recently increased their dividends, and they also just beat their earnings, by the way. That's always a good sign. They also just announced that they're doing a big share buyback, and this just further enhances and shows that they're in a really strong financial position. And also the analysts show that they have a strong potential upside. They're also getting more involved into renewable energies, and so to me, that's a keeper. The next stock on the list is EBON. the company EBON International Holdings. Now, I'm sure many of you heard of it. It's been a pretty hot stock on YouTube. And what's it called? They are a company that does Bitcoin mining and other cryptocurrency mining. I was swing trading them. You can see by this chart that they're an extremely volatile company. But I like the trend. I like the psychology behind it. A lot of people are wanting to get involved into crypto. Some people aren't comfortable trading cryptocurrencies. So I got in on EBON and I've been swing trading it. It's been a nice ride. I've made some profits, but right now I'm biting the bullet. There is a current lawsuit surrounding the company, and I'm just waiting to see if that blows over, to see what's going on with that before I decide what my next move is with that. Now, the next company is a OTC penny stock, Evio, and now what they do is they're a testing lab for cannabis products. Now, I think that has huge potential for the future. You know, everybody's talking about legalization every other day now. And I don't care if it happens tomorrow. I don't care if it happens in a month or a year. This is a long-term play. Obviously, it's riskier, but it also has potential for high reward. And what's going to happen is once legalization is mainstream, the industry for cannabis-related products, whether hemp-related products, CBD-related products, more and more companies are going to be creating these products, and they need to get tested. Now, Evio is in a very strong position to run those tests. They actually just partnered up with a different lab, and now they just acquired a 35,000 square foot lab in California, where actually the most cannabis related products are made, and they can test faster than any other lab in the state of California. So they have very high potential growth, in my opinion. Now, they also have a nice management. They got a new CEO a couple months ago, and she hired all new senior management, and it's a company run fully by women. So it's interesting to see what they're going to be able to do and accomplish, and I'm looking for it. And so I think they are a buy. That's just my opinion. Now, the next stock on the list, Emergent Corp, IMMR, trades under the ticker IMMR. If you never heard about it, it's really cool what they got going on. They do haptic technology. For anybody who has no idea what that is, if it sounds like Chinese, check out the movie Ready Player One. If you've seen it, it's those suits that they wear that, for example, I put on a suit and now I'm in a virtual game and I'm wearing haptic technology. If somebody punches me, hits me in the game, I'll feel it in real life. Now, why is that interesting? You know, I'm a very big fan of technology, and I think the world is going more digital every single day. A lot of people are hating on technology stocks right now and saying that they've just been going up and they're going to crash. Maybe they will a little bit for the short term, but long term, the fact is the world is getting more technologically advanced every single day, and they are the leaders in the industry for this kind of technology. And what's interesting is it goes beyond just gaming industry. They're also working with the EV industry, and they're going to be able to do some pretty cool things. You know, it's going to be aesthetically pleasing in the future when you can get a electric vehicle where there will be actually no buttons in the car. It'll be all screen, and you know, they'll give the exact feeling that you're pushing a button, that you're pressing a button. When you open the window, it's going to feel like back in the day or right now, when you pull the little button, it's going to feel like that. And it's also going to be great for simulations, for learning things, for being able to practice with things. They actually have on their website, you can check it out, where they sell a kind of device, kind of looks like a gaming controller, where you can actually practice fishing, and it will actually feel like the resistance of trying to catch a fish. So I think that's pretty cool. And you can see over here that TipRanks analysts, they have it as a buy with a 67% upside at $15. And so I think it's exciting. It's a long-term play. I don't think it's going to go up in a day or a week. But as the industry gets more adopted by other businesses and more consumers want it, it's going to go up. Next stock over here is MAXR Technologies, trades under the ticker MAXR. Most of you probably never heard of it, but you probably did hear instead of ARKX by Cathie or SPACEX by Elon Musk. And let me tell you, MAXR is the leading company in the space industry when it comes to communications and satellites. Now, why is this important? First of all, I'm a huge believer, and I would love to discuss with anybody. You can drop a comment below or email me. I'll be happy to speak with you one-on-one. That I think space is 1000% the future, only going up. So much potential, even more than what Elon Musk and Cathie Woods thinks. I think the world's first trillionaire, or the world's first couple of trillionaires, will be someone with a space company. Maybe that will be Elon Musk, very well can be. I'm going to need to do an entire separate video just to show everything that they do. But what's important to know right now is they have a very attractive price to sales. Any company or anyone that goes to space or any space project, you know, the most important thing at the end of the day is communications. They have to be able to speak with people down here on Earth once the machines or people are in space. And that's where MAXR comes into play. They have contracts with NASA, and they work with every space company. You know, every time SPACEX goes up, their communication technologies that they use is provided by MAXR. So there is no successful space company without MAXR. What's also interesting about it is, you know, nobody can invest in SPACEX right now. So whenever there's positive news about SPACEX, MAXR is actually correlated and goes up. So like I said, I think the space industry is only going up, and that's where MAXR comes into play. A year ago, they were trading at around $8, and now they're currently at around $40. And the analysts at TipRanks also have it as a buy with 27% potential upside. And my price target on it actually is, I think it's going to get to around $70, and I plan on holding until that happens. And yeah, anytime it goes under $35, I will definitely be adding more. It's one of my favorite companies and stocks, and I truly believe in the company, and they have a long way to go. Now the next stock on the list is MMN Enterprises, trades under the ticker MMNFF, and they are an OTC. It's a penny play. It's more of a play just for fun. I just put in a couple dollars when everybody was talking about legalization. You know, they are a cannabis company that has one of the only dispensaries on Wall Street, and so I was just waiting for legalization and seeing if that would go up. I'll just keep holding on it because I don't really mind. It's like I want to just see how this one plays out. I won't be adding more to it unless there's some crazy news and some crazy catalysts, which I'll obviously update you guys on. So yeah, that's just a little bit about MMN Enterprises. Now the next stock on the list is Altria Group, trades under the ticker MO. They are the dividend kings with a dividend yield of 7.4%. For those of you who don't know the company, they are a huge tobacco company with strong financials and room to grow. And just like the analysts show over here, that there's a potential upside of 17%. I think there's plenty of room to grow, and may as well reap the benefits. So I currently have a position, and if it drops under $40, I will be adding more. Now the next stock on the list, I'm sure many of you are aware of thanks to other YouTubers, Nano Dimensions, trades under the ticker NNDM. They are a leading company in the 3D printing sector. I'm a big believer in where this technology is headed for the future. I still think we're in the baby stages right now, and it's just going to go up, up, and up. And Cathie Woods is a huge believer in it too. It's in one of her ETFs, one of the popular ones. And unfortunately, I'm down quite a bit on this position. I got it around the $14 price mark, and now it's trading around $7.50, $7.70. And the reason it went down so drastically is actually not for a bad reason. What they did was they did more share offerings, which diluted the share price. They released more shares to the public, and they did it quite a few times, and it actually ultimately brought the price down by 100%. Now the reason I'm not worried is because they got a lot of cash. They had about over $1 billion in cash, and they're waiting to strategically do a bunch of mergers and acquisitions to position themselves as the top leading company in the 3D printing space. And they just started doing their acquisitions. They just bought recently DeepCube and Nano Fabrica, which will give them that edge over their competitors. And like I said, Cathie Woods is also a big believer. It's never a reason why I would get in on a stock. I believe fundamentally in the company and what they want to accomplish. And it's also nice to see other successful people investing in the company. So I'm holding, and I'm waiting a little bit to see where these mergers and acquisitions are heading before I buy more. But I probably will be buying more to lower my average cost on NNDM. Now for my next stock, talking about Nokia. And the phone that never breaks. No, I'm kidding. I got into them during the GME and AMC whole fiesta, as you can call it. Obviously, I chose the wrong one, but I'm just going to keep holding them as they have some exciting things going on. They recently just beat their earnings, and they also have some nice 5G projects going on, so I'm just going to keep holding. If there's any major updates, I'll share it with you guys. Now, the next stock is Onconova Therapeutics. I hope I said that right. They trade under the ticker ONTX. It's a biotech penny stock with potential, so obviously it's a higher risk but also higher reward. As you can see over here, the analysts at TipRanks, well, the analysts at Wall Street show that there's a 170% upside. And the reason that it caught my attention is they recently started a phase 2 drug to help treat squamous cell carcinoma, which is a type of skin cancer, and it hits home because unfortunately I was falsely diagnosed with it on the back of my shoulder a couple years ago, and that led to me getting 3 biopsies for, in the end, no reason. But I self-educated myself on the topic of this kind of skin cancer, and I think what they have going on right now is very promising. And you know, if it happens, there will be lots of demand for it. It's the second most common skin cancer, and so I'm hoping to see this one play out, and I'll give you guys updates on what's going on. And I actually just added $50 to this stock last night. I opened up my position on it, and I will be adding more anytime it's under 70 cents. And you know, when you go into a trade, I always like to go with a goal in mind. You know, most of my other stocks that I mentioned over here and my positions, they're long-term plays. This one, I'm setting myself a target to take profits. If it gets to $1.50, I will sell. And then once it reaches $1.50, if it goes under that, I will add more and set myself up a new price target on where I want to take profits. That's just my strategy. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Now the next stock is my second favorite stock, ATARI. They trade under the ticker PONGF, P-O-N-G-F. It's also on the OTC markets. By the way, you actually need a real brokerage like TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab or Fidelity or Vanguard in order to be able to buy OTC stocks. You can't do it on Robinhood or Webull. And now ATARI. If you guys never heard of them, or if you remember them from way back, they are the OG retro gaming system from back in the day. And ATARI has actually been up to something for the past couple of years. They've been cooking something up. They've been working really hard. And what they're doing is they're going to be launching a digital casino where you can gamble with cryptocurrency. Now, I'm not going to share my opinion on gambling. I don't gamble. But, you know, at the end of the day, more and more people are getting involved into crypto. And the fact is, once crypto is adopted fully by everybody, people will gamble with it. People already do. And that's where ATARI comes into play. They are actually going to be building a couple of different hotels in Dubai, Singapore, Las Vegas, Gibraltar, and a couple of other places. And it's going to be a retrofitted ATARI themed hotel with a gaming vibe, obviously, the gaming theme. And they're going to have casinos in these hotels where you're actually going to be able to use your cryptocurrency. And so I think that this is going to be huge. People are going to love it. It's going to be a trend. Tons of people are going to be doing it. There's going to be huge demand, and I think they're going to skyrocket. Right now they're trading under $1. I honestly believe that this has a 20, 30, 40, even 50x potential in the next few years. It's not going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to take a couple of years until the hotels are even built. But as positive news, they also have a cryptocurrency trading under the ticker ATARI, and they actually just launched a digital beta casino on Decentraland, which, if you've never heard of it, it's a virtual reality platform run on Ethereum's blockchain, and you can actually go and play some Atari games there right now, and also gamble with digital cryptocurrency in that Decentraland. So there's positive things going on. They also signed a deal with one of the leaders in the NFT world for fashion, and they're also going to be having some pretty cool projects and things going on inside that virtual world. And so I'm very excited to see the development of this, and I will be adding regularly to this stock. I actually just bought also the other $50 of my $100 a week. I put 50 into ONTX, like I mentioned just before, and I put the other 50 into this stock, ATARI, PONGF, last night. And so that's my $100 for this week. Now, for the last stock on the list, it's Zomedica, trades under the ticker ZOM. I'm sure most of you have heard about it. I heard about it from Your Pop. He's another YouTuber. He's been talking about it a lot, and it's also been a very volatile stock. And so I tried swing trading it, and I've been holding it now. And it's, for those of you who don't know, they released a new drug called Truforma, which is going to be big in the vet scene. It's going to help a lot of animals. It's going to help do some tests much faster. And they've run into some sales issues on how to promote the product, and so therefore they've dropped almost 100% in the last month. But I think that as soon as they figure it out, it's going to go back up. I'll give you guys some updates on that, and if this hits $2, I'm just going to take my profits. And yeah, so that's it for my portfolio reveal, and just wanted to share with you guys that that's where I put my $100 this week, into ONTX and PONGF. I'm going to share with you guys some stocks on my watch list right now. Right now I'm watching carefully NEO. If it goes under $36, I will be adding it. I'm watching Palantir, trades under the ticker PLTR. If it goes under $22, I'm going to be adding it. I'm also watching Checkpoint and FCX, which is a company called Freeport-McMoRan. They're a leading copper company, and with the whole Biden infrastructure plans going on in America right now, I think copper and other materials like that will be going up. So these are just some of the stocks that I'm watching. I will be doing an analysis more in depth on ATARI and MAXR, and I hope to have that for you guys ready next week. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to be investing another $100 next week, and hopefully we'll get closer and closer to that goal of financial freedom. So thank you guys if you made it this far. Love you guys. See you next week.